This conference will now be recorded.
All right, we will call together call to order the meeting with the Haslet Type A EDC. We have a quorum present. Item number 2, citizen participation. There's nobody here, or no cards submitted. Okay. Item number 3, items of community interest. Haslet is hiring several positions: city secretary, Parks and Grounds worker, maintenance worker 1, part-time librarian, water maintenance worker level 1 and 2, and an audiovisual office system and digital media technician. Anyone interested through the website can go to the employment opportunities link to apply. Item number 4 is the consent agenda. And as is the consent agenda, we can bundle the next items. Discuss and consider an act to approve the May 24th regular meeting minutes, as well as discuss, consider, an act regarding the May 2023 financial statements and the June 2023 financial statements.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented.
All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Item number 5, economic development report.
The chairman and members of the commission, there are just several things I want to tell you about. First off, we are still receiving a lot of inquiries, and they're getting more serious all the time about the I-35, frontage. And the other thing I want to mention is the Hurley Street parking lot. I don't know if you've been following that. The B board actually shelved that project for the time being. So there will be no construction over there till they say something different.
I've got a couple questions. Can you enlighten us and let us know what some of these inquiries are about who's looking at I-35 corridor?
Well, some of them are just tire kickers, but there are some that have actually want to get in and talk with our development review committee. Mm-hmm. And they don't have any specifics, but they have some generalities. Until they start getting into the specifics, I don't want to have people mislead anybody and say, well, we heard it's going to be, this is what's going to be happen. We don't know. And until they, submit an actual site plan, zoning change, or an annexation, for some of that area, because some of it's out in our extraterritorial jurisdiction. In fact, most of it is. And so I really hesitate to say anything, because once you start saying things, then things get misconstrued. And if somebody says they're going to build something, all of a sudden the other people around it, prices jump and things get really messy. And so we really don't say anything until properties have actually been there. They have their money on the line, and they've actually put something in the city as an official document.
My other question is, on the Hurley Street parking lot, you said it's been shelved. Does that have anything to do because of Mai Tai? And I noticed that on the Type B agenda that they're still paying rent. Are they not purchasing that property now? And is that why the Hurley Street is being shelved?
No, the two things are not related. Okay. Originally, back when the project started, it was started to help out Mai Tai and some of the other businesses there, but those uses have actually changed. Mai Tai is not a sit-down restaurant anymore. It is strictly a carry out and delivery, and they're not planning on doing a sit down anymore. And so there's no need for parking for that use. Now, Mai Tai is still paying rent, and the B board just had appraisals on all the properties over there, and they got that back, and so we're working with those properties, and there are going to be try to negotiate for ultimately disposing of all the property that the EDC B board owns. No, sir, that's it.
Then let's move on to action item number 6. Discuss, consider, and act regarding to make recommendation to the city council regarding the proposed EDC 2023-2024 budget worksheet.
Yes. We've looked at it a couple different ways. The mayor has a model that is forecasting out all the projected housing starts and things from all of the developers. Our sales tax has kind of tapered off a little bit as far as the percentage that's actually for construction materials. And so we're just kind of factoring that in because at some point we're going to get back to, pretty much normal levels. But we also, this was proposed and is subject to change, and it may change as far as the revenue estimate. But we're just kind of watching to see through the year so far, the actual for this year is running a little bit underneath what actual for last year was. And we expect it's still going to come in well over budget, but we're just kind of watching it. So, and this has been presented and filed in the actual proposed budget for the council. We're operating on kind of a fast track calendar. There's 2 different calendars in the statutes now, and so whatever recommendations this board makes will be included when the budget goes to adoption. And I didn't really do any theorizing on your budget, so most of the expenditures, in fact, I think all of them are put in here at basically what they were, except for the debt. And I did put the correct debt schedule for the next year in there. That's actually been being carried over for a while. That was particularly due to Composites 1, and they've never asked for any of the incentives that they applied for originally. So I'm not really sure. I just keep kind of carrying it forward because it's kind of out there, and I don't want it to be forgotten. Yeah. Yes. Yes. And they're not part of the city's budget, so yeah. Right.
Then I will make the motion that we approve the 2023-2024 budget worksheets as presented.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Motion carries. Item number 7. There doesn't look like there's an item for the executive session today. Okay. Item number 8, consider an act regarding items for the executive session for which there was none. Item number 9, consider an act regarding items to be placed on the next agenda.
Nothing at this time.
All right, then pass on to the item number 10, adjourn.